The Toronto Argonauts are 2-point underdogs when they host the Montreal Alouettes on Saturday night at BMO Field. The Argos are suddenly only 4 points ahead of Hamilton for the third and final playoff spot in the East Division and could be without left tackle Asia Cage, who didn't practice this week due to a hip injury, though it appears star return specialist Janarian Grant is ready to come back from a chest issue that held him out last week. All-star safety Marc-Antoine Dequoy appears likely to return for the Alouettes, though defensive tackle Mustafa Johnson has missed practice this week due to a neck issue. Can the Argonauts get back to over 500, or will the Alouettes clinch first place in the East Division?
I've got the upset here. I think the Argos have been a wildly inconsistent team, but with that, for every bad game, they put together a good game that you don't think they're going to win. And I think that's the situation here. They're at home where they've generally played very well. I think there's sort of a storyline hanging over this one where it's kind of like the East Final from a year ago when Chad Kelly struggled so much. I think he has been motivated whenever he's played teams this year that he has felt have slighted him in some way. I think he'll be motivated going up against the Alouettes. And I simply have not been convinced by that Montreal offense of late. Cody Fajardo has not played particularly well. They don't really have the receivers going or firing on all cylinders right now to have success offensively. And if you're going to miss a big piece on defense, like Mustafa Johnson, who I think is one of the top 5 defensive players in the entire CFL, I really am that high on him. I think there's going to be a major drop-off. So give me Toronto to pull the upset at home.
I feel like I have to take the Alouettes this week after doubting them last week. That was the only blemish for me against the spread. They went into Ottawa, they spanked the Red Blacks, and they did so while Cody Fajardo was patently mediocre. Over his last 3 games, the former Saskatchewan Roughrider has thrown for no more than 240 yards in any game, and he's got 1 touchdown and 1 pick. Those are not good numbers. Those are 2023 regular season Cody Fajardo numbers. They are not the 2023 Grey Cup numbers we saw Cody Fajardo post against Winnipeg in that game and then carry over into this season. Let's not forget, after 3 games to start the year, Cody Fajardo had 8 touchdown passes, only 1 pick. Like, he was on an absolute tear. Everyone's talking MOP. Since then, not so much. So I am going to take the Alouettes to win this one. I think Marc-Antoine Dequoy is good for at least 1 turnover, potentially. He certainly was so the last time he played against the Argonauts, and Chad Kelly threw him a pick 6 early on in that East Final at BMO Field. But I do think that the Argonauts have a decent shot here. I'm a little worried about the left tackle situation with Asia Cage being out. That said, I don't think Cage has been dominant this year. Last year, I thought he was excellent. This year, I think he's been okay. That being said, always tough to overcome an injury at that spot. So I will cautiously, JC, take the Montreal Alouettes. But even at, let's say if this line goes to Toronto +3, I'd be tempted to take them. Right now, +2, happy to take the Alouettes to cover, but not by much.